Welcome to my music business mini podcast. Today I'm going to talk about the importance of playing a million gigs, or actually hundreds of gigs, at the beginning of your career, and knowing certain songs, maybe 3, 4, 5 songs, up, down, backwards, forwards, and sideways, something that you can play in your sleep so that when you get a big opportunity, then you can go out and you're not going to be nervous, you're not going to be thinking, you're just going to be able to relax, perform, and execute and kill those songs, thus hopefully killing the audience and making the most out of that opportunity. So I'll just let you know what I did with my music career and how I got started and how I took advantage of a great opportunity to open for country music legend Clint Black. So basically, I started my career when I started taking it seriously to be professional, and I made my living by just playing bars and tiki bars, solo acoustic, on a bar stool for 4 hours a day. And I would do this 6, 7 times a week, sometimes and I did it for a few years, and I would always tell people who were interested that it was great for me because I cut my teeth. I learned a lot. I learned how to run my own little sound system. I learned how to perform in front of 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 people, which to me has always been more difficult than performing for a few thousand. So, and what it did was it also, that's how I made money. So I made money and I learned a lot, and I worked on my craft and got better and better. So I was doing this for a few years, and I got invited to a place that I perform at a lot now. I've opened for Willie Nelson, Charlie Daniels, Bret Michaels, Clint Black, Chris Young, the Eli Young Band, a bunch of huge acts there. So I got invited. It was my very first time there, and I was only playing at bars up and down the Florida Keys mostly, and then in New England during the summer and around Nashville, because I was living in Nashville part-time then. So I was only playing for, the most people I had played for was a few hundred. So I get to this huge amphitheater in Webster, Massachusetts, and I remember Smidge and I were flying out the next day to go down to play at Margaritaville in Key West. So the booking agent that booked me to go play the little back, tiny little stage called the Corral Stage, where everyone basically auditions to get onto the big stage the next year if they like you. But you're playing for people having lunch and stuff, maybe about a total of 50, 70 people. So, but we pull up, and it was like pulling up to Madison Square Garden after I'd been only playing at bars and tiki bars and restaurants. So there was thousands of people there, and it was very intimidating. So we pull up. The booking agent told me, don't worry about bringing sound, they'll have sound there. She also told me the wrong time. So I arrive, and this is all going to go back to having 3, 4, 5 songs that you can play in your sleep, that you can crush, kill, murder. So we pull up, the stage manager comes up and says, "You're late." Now, this is a guy who's a good friend of ours now, because this is where it all started. But John O'Loughlin, thank you, John, for everything that you've done for my career. This was the beginning of me opening for a ton of national acts. So this is how it went down. He comes up to me and goes, "You're late." And I'm like, "I'm not late. Here's the email." I'm getting aggravated because, number one, I'm a little intimidated by the whole place. Number two, everything was wrong that I was told. I was late. So he's like, "Just set up your system, go over there and start as soon as you can." So I'm like, "I don't have a sound system." So he's getting aggravated. I'm getting aggravated. We tried to figure out a sound system with the DJ that was there. That wasn't going to work. So I came to the conclusion that I said, "Look, John, here's what I'm going to do. I'll take care of it." I just took my sound hole cover off my acoustic guitar, strapped it on, started walking around through the picnic tables, and started singing to everybody. And and sat down with the ladies on the picnic table and serenaded them. And I did that for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. He comes up to me, John comes up to me and says, "Tim, that was awesome. Do you want to open for Clint Black?" I looked at him, I said, "You bet your ass I want to open for Clint Black." He looks at me and says, "Okay, there's the stairs. Run up there right now. You have 3 minutes to sound check and you're on." So, needless to say, I ran up those stairs, had flip-flops on because I thought it was just going to be a little acoustic thing. And I ran up to the backstage area, which is like my second home now, but I go out and there's thousands of people. I walked up these, check out the movie Crazy Heart. It was very similar to a couple scenes in there. I walk up the stairs through the backstage entrance and it goes right out onto the stage, and all of a sudden I'm in front of thousands of people. So he gave me, I think it was 15 minutes. I played my 3, 4, 5 songs and crushed it. Just me and my guitar, and I had everybody singing, however many thousands of people were there to see Clint Black. And that was the beginning of, they invited me back the next year to open on the main stage with my full band. And I believe the second year we opened for the first time for Bret Michaels, who I've opened for a bunch of times and I've sang with and everything. So there's my advice, my tips is to make sure that either be practicing